Today we got a little bit of surprise snow and we gotta go and check the mail because Katie has a rock that she just has to have that's in the mailbox, so we're gonna walk. This is how Katie feels about it. And it is cold here, it's like 18 degrees. It was my idea. We had no idea that we were really even gonna get snow. I knew that they were calling for it, and when I come home from Austin the other night, they had salted the roads, but it wasn't even the night before. See some little doggy prints?
Those are molly tracks.
Yes. So, did not expect this snow. It's really pretty, but it is so cold. It's like 18 degrees. So, we're gonna try to get down to the mailbox and back pretty quick. The driveway, unfortunately, is pretty slick. It's been cold all day and it's not really warmed up at all. So it's not even had a chance to kind of unthaw. But it's so pretty to look at. We love the snow and we don't usually get lots of snow. If you watched the other video, you heard me say that. So it was kind of surprising to wake up to this. I was probably awake, laying in the bed for an hour plus before I knew that it had even snowed. I was reading my book and then I looked out the window and I was like, oh, okay. And our mailbox is not right at the foot of our driveway, so it'll be a little walk, but it actually is nice. It kind of feels good to have fresh air. But tell us, Katie, about the rock that we are getting and where it come from.
Also, I have more sweatshirts than this sweatshirt.
And I do have another shirt besides this one.
This is just the big puffy sweatshirt that I have, so when I go outside, it's the one that's good for layering since it's big and puffy. But anyway, we are going to go down the hill to get this rock called Agua Nueva, which is Spanish for new water, I think.
Agate, right?
Yeah, it's an agate. It is from Mexico and I guess probably northern-ish Mexico, and it's a really nice rock, a really somewhat rare-ish rock, and we are gonna go and get it. It's an 8-pound chunk, and you don't find big chunks of it much anymore, so.
Where did you buy it?
eBay! Got it on eBay. Actually come from Canada. So, let's go.
Do you get a lot of rocks off of eBay?
I do get a lot of rocks off of eBay. I do. I get plenty of rocks off eBay. Sometimes that's some of the only places I can find some of these rare-ish rocks, or like, I don't know, harder to get a hold of rough. It's not always easy to find. We'll go down through here. Yeah, we're trying to like walk through here and everything looks like super icy. And where people have drove in and out, the snow's been packed and turned to ice. But actually the snow has melted off the road down here. No one comes in and out because I'm not going to risk my life or risk tearing up my vehicle just to go off the hill when I don't really need to. So,
and we didn't leave a car at the bottom because we didn't expect it to snow. Katie says she wants that red rock out there, but she ain't getting in for it. It's too cold. I don't know if we've mentioned before or not on the channel, but we live behind a farm, basically. And I've always thought this old barn there was really neat. And that's kind of the rest of the farm there. It's a really big farm. Lots of cows. But this is kind of the back side of it here. And this is Stamy Creek still, but this is a ways down from our house. It's not right beside like our house, well, our cousin's house really anymore. This is kind of where it kind of leaves the holler, so to speak. Katie is actually walking with the neighbor boy. He was at our house visiting, so that's why she's not in the video with me just this second. But I've always thought it is so neat how you can take a rock, just a rock that you find on the ground. Of course, it has to be a certain kind, and that she can put it in her big saw, slab it up, then take the slab and then make cabochons out of it. It's insane. I mean, I'm super proud of her. Of course, I'm prejudiced because she's my other half, figuratively and literally, but I just think that's amazing. And she's made so much progress learning how to do all that. I mean, she started silversmithing a couple years ago with just like a butane torch at a, crappy old desk. And now she can actually cut the rocks and make them that go in the jewelry that she's making. Froze to death. Actually, I'm not that cold, but that wind hitting my face is bad. Brutal. All right, come on. We're close to the mailbox. So So we have several packages and we're both gonna have to get an armload to get them back home. Oh my gosh. We wanted to take a little bit more of a walk.
Make sure the neighbor kid gets home.
Yes, Katie has got her big box of rocks. Of course, when we get home, we're gonna open it up and show you. Would you say this is the most rare rock that you've ever bought?
No, not necessarily. I mean, not necessarily. It's not the most rare rock that I've ever had, but it is a rarer rock in terms of it's hard to find like big chunks of it. That's not to say that they're not out there, because they are, but it's hard to get big chunks. And also, I would say that at one time you could get big chunks all you wanted, but they've kind of mined it out, you know? So what's out there is kind of just what's out there. It's going to be a nice rock, and like I said, I feel like they make plenty of, when I say they make, I mean Mother Earth made plenty of nodules and smaller rocks, but not that many big chunks, and I haven't been able to find any. So I'm sure they exist, but I haven't been able to get a hold of them. So
what are some of the other places that you buy rocks?
I know some people, so like I can buy them from like people that I personally know that I can get to source them for me. Other lapidary places, but for the most part, all like the serious rough I got off eBay. One time I had a man contact me. He was going through some of his estate because his parents were ailing and needed some medical attention. So he was selling off some of his rocks to raise money for his parents' medical expenses. And I got like, I don't know, a couple £100 from him. So, you know, different people.
Hello, cows. Those cows do not know what to think of us. They're looking at us like, what are you doing? Hello, friends. Hello, moo cows. They're pretty cute. They're just staring at us. They're like, I don't know. Well, leave them alone. I don't want to bother them, make them run or make them get up. This little area right here is the same creek, but it just turns back, crosses a culvert, and goes to the other side of the road. And it's been a long time ago, but we came in here one time to dig for bottles because with some of the old home places near, you could find stuff. And I'm sure there's probably still some stuff here to be found, so I would like to come back and do that at some point, but you just get busy and don't end up doing it. We did find some pretty neat stuff when we dug that day. Like I said, it's been a long time ago, like over 10 years ago. I think Kitty and I were just 13 or 14. But I do remember I got cut that day. Of course, you have to be very careful when you're digging for glass, and I know that, but I remember getting cut on a piece of glass, and it wasn't a bad cut, but definitely will not forget that. The cows do seem to be curious because now they've come to the edge of the road. That one looks like it has little bitty horns. Interesting. Don't they call that a steer when they have horns? I think. Hey, friends. Oh, they're starting to back away. I don't want to make them uncomfortable. I mean you no harm. I will leave you alone. I'm actually kind of surprised the snow is cleared off the highway here. This is just a secondary road that we live on, and usually they don't get this clear for maybe a couple days. Katie's coming up behind me there. She was seeing the neighbor boy off. In my box that I got out of the mail that came is actually some cards. So of course I make soap, as everyone knows, you know, if you've been on the channel for any length of time. But I'm gonna start selling deodorant on Etsy. I made a video showing kind of how I make it a while back ago, and there was some good response. And so I ordered some cards to go in with the deodorant, and the cards basically say, you know, thanks for the order, but also just kind of address the fact that I do not use labeling with products, with soap or with deodorant, because it keeps trash out of the landfill, extra trash, and it also will keep the prices lower for the customers, for anyone who buys it. So I'm pretty excited to see how they turned out. I'm gonna hand the camera to Katie, and she's gonna tell you a little bit more about what her favorite kind of rocks are, what's easy to cut, and what's easy to get a hold of. I mean, some material, like she said, is just rare and it's hard to find. It's still there, but you just have to know how to hunt for it. Okay. Oh, and you're dropping our mail there. Don't leave the bill there. We won't get it paid.
It's just a bill. We don't want it anywhere. Oh man, it's a bill for me. No. No.
Okay, so as far as my favorite rocks to cut, I'm a big fan of any of the agates. They're hard to cut, not because they're difficult, but they're an actual physically dense rock, and it's rough on the wheels. It'll wear them out, but I like that. I love anything from Katy Mountain, California. They've got some interesting plume, like flame-like looking material. I like that. I like to cut some of the softer jaspers, or like any of the dolomites or rhyolites. Those are fun because they're softer and they go faster and they don't eat your wheels up. I don't like obsidian. I can cut it, I have, and I will, but I don't like it. It just doesn't cut easy. It's not fun. I like the ocean jasper that I was cutting, which is really more like an agate, but I like that. And I pretty much just like anything that I find because it's fun to cut it open and be kind of the first person to see it. Okay, so that's the neighbor's driveway, and I would venture to say that's slick. And I'm on to some slick stuff right here. That's pretty slick. I would say that's like ice skating rink slick. Okay, so as you can see, laden with snow, no snow. So yeah, we are approaching the north facing slope here, and it's just slick. Slick too because people have been in and out. We didn't go in and out, but because people have been, it packs what's there. So what little sun gets in here, like right here, is not going to be enough to melt this. I will say what's interesting about this snow is it's really cold. It's about 18 degrees out. It's probably got up to 23 degrees today. It hasn't gotten any warmer, so what's here will stay. It'll stay packed for a while. And snow is always fun, but that really harsh cold that comes with it, I think that's what makes the pretty snow. That's what makes the whole experience, because living down here in the South, this isn't Michigan. This isn't the Northeast. This isn't the Northwest. This is just not where you get snow. This is where you have heat. So this is really fun for us. And at this time of day, the sun's kind of down right here, and it's really pretty and sparkly with the sun shining. But for the most part, it's about 4 o'clock. That means that the sun that was going to get in our yard and over the majority of our driveway is long since passed. So now we have to make the trek back up the driveway, which isn't too bad. We used to have to walk this when we got off the school bus, and of course thousands of other times, so pretty used to it. Funny story though about snow in this driveway. When I was a young teenager in high school, Sperry shoes, the brand Sperry, like the boat shoes, were really popular. You can see the shadow of the phone on my face. I apologize for that. But those shoes were really popular, and I really, really, really wanted a pair. That's a little better. And I remember Mom buying me a pair, and they were leopard print, and they had like fake leopard print hair. That's pretty crazy for me to think about wearing now, but I love those shoes. And I remember we had been in Canton seeing Dad's family because there is no Belk here, and that's where we got them. And then I don't remember if it had snowed there and we come home and I guess the snow was gone, but it was still on the driveway. It's kind of hard for me to remember, but I had those shoes, and I was not gonna walk in those shoes and ruin them up the driveway. I mean, they would have got wet and they would have been ruined, and I was like, no way, these are my like favorite shoes. So I took my shoes off and I walked in my sock feet in the snow up the driveway. And I think back about that now and I think, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. But at the time, I was so worried about those shoes. And it was really sweet of Mom to buy them for me. We're actually going to make a stop by our grandma's and see her before we go home. So our grandma is getting rid of this chair. And I think Dad's going to take it to deer camp. But until then, it's on the porch, conveniently where Katie is trying to sit and put her boots back on.
Well, here's why Katie can't get the boots back on, because these coveralls are about too little. They like choke me. So I have to like hold my breath to not be choked half to death.
Oh my gosh. leaving your boots outside is not a good idea.
10 out of
because-
10 would not recommend.
Yes. Also, Granny and Paul were having fish and french fries, and this is actually some leftover barbecue that they gave us. So now we're gonna have some french fries and barbecue for supper. So that was pretty nice.
BBQ, baby, I have a BBQ.
Yeah. All right, off we go.
Into the wild blue yonder.
Flying high into the sky.
Okay.
All right. We are gonna hop the trail and get home, and we'll show you the rock that's in the box and eat some barbecue and french fries and sit back. Katie has her LaCroix. Our cousin says LaCroix is like drinking a drink and someone shouts the flavor from the other room, and I think that that's pretty accurate.
It's like drinking carbonated water and someone yells the color from the next room.
That's pretty much true. Oh, you made a barbecue sandwich out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Barbecue.
That looks pretty good. As promised, Katie is going to open her rock.
Oh, she is beautiful. She's very cold, too.
Wow.
That's probably
pretty
what it'll look
awesome.
like in there. The other side has that funny... Well, no, maybe it's just that one side that has that funny formation, but it should be pretty.
Hold it still for us. What is all that funny stuff?
It's just like, kind of like, I don't know, just some weird formation stuff.
We're going to insert a picture of what agua nueve looks like, because until she cuts this, we're going to have no idea. She had to smell it. But see that beautiful, like, pinky purple?
Yeah, and that
material?
right there, that pattern.
This is beautiful.
Should be a nice piece.
I
Better
can't
be.
wait.
It's like as big as my head's 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 ounces.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size. We're gonna sign off, us and the rock. Thanks for watching this video. Drop some comments below. Let us know if you got any snow. The day we're filming this is January the 29th, Saturday. Let us know what you think about the awesome rock. If you buy rocks in the mail, you might, you probably don't, I don't know. But thanks for going with us on our walk. God bless you, and we'll catch you at the next video.